welcome along to Matchday Live here on Fox's Hub with me, Dan Bates, as Leicester City look to get back to winning ways as they travel up to Middlesbrough and the Riverside to face Michael Carrick's side, who are winless in their last two. Let's get straight into today's team news. Hot off the press, and the headline really is that there's a spot on the bench for Tom Cannon, who we've yet to see, of course, feature in a Leicester City shirt. The summer signing from Everton has had to be patient with a back injury that's prevented him from playing for his new club, but today could be the day for him. He is on the bench. In terms of the starting 11, Enzo Maresca makes 3 changes to the side that lost to Leeds just over a week ago. Chowdhury, Iheanacho and McAteer, who makes his first start since September, come in. Cassidy, Fatawu and Vardy are those that drop to the bench. It's Hermansen in goal, Justin, Vestergaard, Fass and Chowdhury across the back four, we believe, with Ricardo pushing into one of those number 8 positions alongside Dewsbury Hall, of course, just in front of Harry Winks. That'll be a big talking point for us during Matchday Live. Mavididi and McAteer are either side of Kelechi Iheanacho. On the bench, it's Stolarczyk, Cody, Cassidy, Vardy, Albrighton, Sutar, Fatawu, Daka and Cannon. From a Middlesbrough point of view, they lost 5 of their first 6 in the league, but have only lost once in 9 since then. Despite their run, though, they're winless in their last 2 games. And Michael Carrick names an unchanged side to the one that played out an entertaining 3-3 draw with Plymouth a week ago. This is their starting 11. It's Dieng in goal, Engel, McNair, Fry and Vandenberg across the back 4, with Hayden Hackney and Johnny Howson in midfield, Greenwood, Crooks and Jones all playing behind Coburn. They're the team news then. Of course, we'll remind you of those throughout the show as we build up to kick-off, which is just under an hour away. We've got David Nugent, who played for both Leicester and Middlesbrough, of course, with us, and Matt Elliott, as ever, on the sofa, joining me this afternoon. Yeah, you have good memories of playing for both clubs, obviously, more so Leicester.
Yeah, more so, obviously, I spent 18 months at Middlesbrough, leaving from Leicester to go to Middlesbrough, got a promotion, another promotion with my belt there in my first season, and then went off to Derby after that. But yeah, both clubs have fond memories, and obviously more Leicester because I was here a long
Tend to say it every week that Nuge is on it. gone through the list, hasn't he?
Just the 7 of them. 8.
He found a club that wanted him eventually.
Yeah, someone always wants a striker.
Well, we've actually got a goal. We'll talk about that a little bit later, Nugent, against Middlesbrough. We've got plenty to get through here on Matchday Live as we build up, of course, to kick-off. We're going to look at Enzo Maresca. He's won yet another Manager of the Month award. That's 2 in his first 3 months. He's won the awards. There it is. News there. Classic goal against Middlesbrough. Nice little volley into the back of the net. And we'll also hear, of course, from Enzo Maresca, who previews the game with the Teessiders this afternoon. I guess, but really, the first place to go is the team news, actually, isn't it, in terms of a talking point, and that midfield area. We're seeing Ricardo pushed in as one of the number 8s. What do you make of that, Matt?
Yeah, you got 3 changes there. Iheanacho and Vardy, it's almost a given, isn't it, that rotation? Understand the reasons why. I suppose it's quite a big statement in a way. With the injuries that Leicester have got, with Ndidi and Akgun not being available, there's a little bit of a shortage in that area. But to push Ricardo, adaptable and flexible as he is, into that area is a little bit of a statement that Cassidy's not quite fitting into things as he would like just yet. But hopefully that will come in time. But I don't think too many people will have too many grumbles about Ricardo playing in a more forward area. He's so versatile, isn't he? He can literally be effective pretty much anywhere in the pitch, other than maybe centre forward. Anywhere else he could do a job. But listen, for Championship level, that's a strong team. You've got Cody, who's tapping his feet on the bench. He must be getting frustrated. Not so long ago, an England full international can't get a game, and that's because the performances for the boys in front are going well. But solid. McAteer as well coming in. I think that's probably right. Fatawu disappointed me a bit because I thought he was brilliant first half against Leeds. I'm thinking, go and win the game for the boys. But he drifted off, took the easy option. McAteer gives something different.
Yeah, he likes to freshen things up as well, Enzo, doesn't he? So the changes hands are coming in as well. It's fair. Either one of them could do that role that Ricardo's not doesn't play midfield, Hamza could easily do it, and Ricardo come back into his right position slot and come into midfield what he does when he comes inside as an inverted fullback. So he's got options to change it on the pitch if he needs to. But you know, Casey coming back in, he'll be, you know, wanting to impress again. You know, scoring all them goals. You know, obviously getting injured, having a few weeks on the sideline, and you know, coming off of the defeat, you know, they all want to impress again and go on another run and try and, you know, gain another 3 points.
It's actually the first thing you said when you came in. You said, well, how many changes has he made? You were expecting that, not just because they lost, but he's been making changes after wins as well.
Yeah, you expect it. You know, he wants to keep the threads, you know, the squad fresh. You know, you've seen it multiple times in games. He's made 4 changes, 5 changes. You know, he's not scared to do it, and he's got the squad for it. You know, but you know, he thinks this is the team to beat Middlesbrough, and hopefully they can do that today.
Yeah, I think like with MATCHDAY, going back to that point, coming in away from home, especially, he does. I'm not saying Fatahou doesn't track back. He does. Him and Mavididi both, but MATCHDAY is sort of more
hungry. I think he's more hungry.
Yeah, hungrier, but he's also got that defensive mindset about it as well. Like you know, he's going to put in a real shift. He's up and down. He's fit as a fiddle, isn't he? Also brings you something as a goal threat, but perhaps a touch more reliable, should we say, at this stage in their careers.
Yeah, I mean, he's not started since September. The game at Anfield, of course, he scored in that one. He then came off the bench in a couple of games, picked up an injury, frustratingly for him, because he made such a good start to the season.
Yeah, he did. You know, he was like a new signing coming to start the season because nobody really knew about him. You know, Enzo's seen him in training, thought he'd give him a chance, and he's never looked back really. And you know, credit to him. You know, coming into the first team, making an impression and staying in it. So yeah, Enzo believes him. He's back in today. He's got a chance to make an impression, try and get back on the score sheet, and you know, try and get Leicester, you know, back to winning ways and get him, you know, further ahead in the table.
Yeah, he's got a great attitude for such a young player, and he's like coming in. You can see that he's not sort of getting carried away with himself at all. The way he talks in interviews is very impressive, but also his actions out there on the pitch. You can see he's someone who wants to learn. Like, for instance, the goal against Southampton, like Dewsbury Hall played it through beautifully, but it was a slightly not unusual, but not an everyday run that he made. It's like from out to in the heart of the defence, and defenders think, hang on, where's he going? Bang, too late, touch, finish, and obviously the coach has been helping him along, and he's feeding off him.
So we covered that goal, didn't we, on the show, and you seen where he made his run from. It's from the halfway line when Dewsbury Hall had it, so he's got the determination to get in the box and try and score the goal.
Yeah, and the awareness, isn't it, to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. The Tactics Board feature with David Nugent, have a look for that.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that.
You do remember that.
I haven't you about that.
Right, let's take a welcome distraction from these two before Matt does hammer David Nugent and talk about Enzo Maresca, as I referenced at the very top of the show. He's won the Championship Manager of the Month. It's the second time he's won it in just the first 3 months in charge here at Leicester, and he came and sat in the box yesterday to reflect on the award.
Every game is difficult because the opponent, they try to use their weapons to beat us. We won 6 games in a row in October. Winning game, we can achieve our target.
In this room before?
I saw once because the door was open, but I didn't sit. Yeah, it's nice. Eh?
Nice, you like it? We've got your shirt there as well.
Oh yeah, look.
Congratulations again, Enzo.
Thank you.
That's 2 of the 3 months that you've been here that you've won that award. You must be very pleased.
Yes, as I just said, very happy because we won 6 games in a row in October, and this is the most important thing. But at the end, I didn't play. The player, they are the players that they go inside the pitch. So it's because of them and because the way they are working, for sure.
And obviously coming in, completely new group to you. You must be delighted with the way that they've started.
Absolutely, very proud, especially because the way they work every day is fantastic. Give 100% every day since we start, and also because it's a new idea, the way we want to play.
Blackburn away was a really big win, wasn't it? And there were some tough games in the month of October.
For sure, yeah. I said after, as you said, after Blackburn game, that was the toughest one because they play very well. But every game is difficult. Every game is difficult because the opponent, they try to use their weapons to beat us, and so we need to deal with that. And yeah, they are doing. Hopefully, we can continue on that. Even we know that it's very difficult.
you mentioned the players, of course. I know you've mentioned in the press that it's not just a one-man army, is it? The management, you've got so many staff members that work so hard to help you get awards like this.
Yeah, I just said we have. It's because, first of all, it's because of the players. Because when we won the first one in August, it was because we won 404. Now October because we won 606, but it's because of the players, no more than that. And the backroom staff, for sure, they are helping me and the players a lot. Willie and Danny doing 1v1 work, extra work at the end, video session 1v1. So yeah, it's a key part.
Just finally, hopefully this is the second of many Manager of the Month awards that you win here.
Yeah, hopefully, first of all, because that means that we win games, that this is the most important thing at the end, and also because winning game, we can achieve our target.
Fantastic, thank you very much. Enzo, congratulations, cheers.
Thank you, Enzo.
I will take this for myself.
Yeah, of course. Tell who is in charge. Laura, who is in charge? I will pay.
Enzo Maresca there, proud of his award and his new shirt as well, which he's taken home there with him. But
I'd love to have seen you say no, basically.
yeah, not a chance that has happened. Listen, 6 wins from 6. It was obviously only going to be Enzo Maresca, wasn't it, for the manager?
Faultless, winning every game, you're expected to win it. 2 out of the last 3 months he's won, so that's just the credit to the players as well for taking on the instructions on board. New system, new style of play, and playing the way Enzo wants to play, and they've done ever so well, as you said, unbeaten. So there's only one place where it's going to go, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done to Ipswich, making sure that it wasn't 3 out of 3 from Maresca, which you would assume with the record that Leicester have. But I mean, listen, he says all the right things there, and it's a nice little accolade. But he doesn't need that to make him feel better about himself or his players. Really, I think he said there, manager of the season maybe will be the more gratefully received. But it's a nice touch, but. If anything, you can, I don't know, be a little bit, not a hindrance, but puts a little mark on your back sort of thing, doesn't it? And I don't know if there is a curse or statistically or not, if it works out that way or not. But I don't think he'll be too fussed about it, really, even though he liked the shirt more than the award, I think.
Yeah, you'd much rather win the league and get promoted than get a few Manager of the Month award, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, that's he said, didn't he, that if he wins awards, it means Leicester are winning games.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong, you like it. I mean, I'm guessing you won Player of the Month in certain levels in the news, and you're sort of like, okay, it doesn't really matter, but privately you're like, I'm doing all right,
You don't really think much about it because you've got a game in a couple of days, so it's just like put it to the side, we go again.
Yeah.
Like a seasonal award's better.
Obviously you want the end of the
exactly.
season, they're the ones that you want, the players, the managers playing and all stuff like that.
It's more for show, really, isn't it?
From
the Premier League, like the Player of the Month. Mo Salah got it this month, didn't he, in the Premier League? And he ain't not worried about that, is he? He's just going to crack on, whatever.
He's got another 40 back home.
Something to talk about, I suppose. But get the award at the end of the season. That's the key, isn't it?
But it's testament, obviously, to the job that he's done already. I mean, winning, as we've said, 2 of the 3 months that he's been.
Yeah, well, nobody knew what to expect when he first came into the job because he was unknown to it. His first managerial job as a manager or first team coach. So everyone was a bit sceptical what's going to happen. But the first couple of games, people were still unsure. But then once they got the style of play going and we seen them winning games, I think every fan in the stadium was behind them.
Yeah, well, there was huge excitement straight away, wasn't there, with the appointment, and you could sense that from everyone involved, and the players included.
And the club needed that at the time.
Yeah, it was just a tonic, wasn't it? Yeah. And I think things have gone better than anyone could have foreseen, really. And we've said it numerous times. There's room for improvement. We saw that against Leeds. Interesting to see today how the players react, and also Maresca, how he reacts. There won't be any drastic change of approach, but. I don't know, he might have looked at things against Leeds and thought, right, okay, they're a good outfit. We failed to penetrate them. Like, where can we improve on that front? And hopefully you'll see some evidence of that today.
We've seen a reaction from the last game they lost. They won 12 on the bounce. Yeah. So, it'll be nice to do another one of them. Obviously, getting beat by Hull before the international break. And then, winning 12 on the bounce was a perfect way of saying, well, it's not going to happen very often.
No, exactly. And 13 wins from 15 at the start of the season. Couldn't have gone much better. Obviously, the two defeats, as you've referenced, were both at home, both by just 1-0. In both games, there were opportunities and chances to equalise, probably the biggest being Dewsbury Hall right at the very end. It was a fantastic save from Enzo Maresca, wasn't it? That prevented Leicester from getting a deserved point.
Yeah, no, it was a tough game, especially Leeds were done really well early on, pressed Leicester from the front and, caused Leicester a few problems early on, and, Leeds could have easily been 2-0 up with the chance they created early on, but, I think Fatu in the first half, Sam Barham got booked early, didn't he?
This was the big chance at the end.
Yeah, at the end of the header. MATCHDAY's done that's his job, he's been under pressure at Leeds, since they got relegated as well, but he's come back looking good. But again, he can't do anything unless, he's under pressure, Dewsbury Hall, he gets his head on it and MATCHDAY makes a save. But Fatu had a shot in the first half as well, that goes in, makes it 1-1. Could have been a totally different game.
1-0, the
Fatu
1-0,
sorry, would have been 1-0, but...
It's a tight game all through, but I think, I don't think too many people have too many complaints at the result. It could 1-0, 1-1, whichever. It's fine lines, isn't it? But I think Leicester, in the long run, I think I said after the game, I think it would probably serve Leicester well because it's not just going to be like a walk in the park. Things are not just going to fall into their lap. They've got to keep producing, keep performing, because they in their own high standards that they've set, they came up short against Leeds. I know Leeds were part of the cause because they played very well, but the two chances, Fatu, you just mentioned, Dewsbury Hall, there wasn't a lot in between, really, and that's disappointing. But
I mean, speaking of monthly awards, this would have been a shoo-in for goal of the month, probably goal of the season.
Just from the start, weren't it? Like the touch, the bit of skill over the head, coming inside. That goes in. The place erupts as well, doesn't it?
It's a great strike. He's capable of that. He did something similar against Hull, didn't he?
Yeah, hit the post.
Hit the post that time. He made his sort of debut entrance. But it frustrated me on the night though, because I'm thinking both the wingers, they had the fullbacks absolutely on toast, and I was thinking, right, come on, just go and ram that home in the second half, and neither of them did. It was bizarre, really, but it's part of their development. Well, they're relatively young still, aren't they? So something for them to look at, though, because you could see Byram, he was absolutely petrified. He was like 5-7 yards off him, and didn't make the most of that, but live and learn.
So you can probably see maybe one of the reasons why Casey returns McAteer on that right-hand side today.
No, Casey's in your face and he's at you. He gets the ball, he runs. He comes inside, he gets to the byline, gets crosses in. So he can go either way. Fatu being left-footed, he does tend to come inside a lot and try and get shots off on the goals we've seen against Leeds. But Casey, I think Casey's more direct. He works hard for the team as well, and maybe being away from home, that's why he gets the nod ahead of Fatu today.
Right, speaking of goals against Middlesbrough, then we promised we'd look at this one. And
did I not get one? You couldn't dig it up.
Just couldn't go that far back, man. Right, let's have a look then. David Nugent scored the only goal in a 1-0 victory against today's opponents, Middlesbrough, all the way back in 2013.
The final seconds of the first half against the bar. Knockout had also hit the bar in that first half. Wood. Nugent! Yes! David Nugent scores again! Leicester City take the lead. Middlesbrough's away day blues continue.
Well, I wonder whether David Nugent knew, but he was about to be replaced, wasn't he? It's a dilemma for Nigel Pearson. As the ball gets played in to Chris Wood, he just helps it inside, and Nugent, totally aware of where the goal is, helps it on its way, and that is absolute perfection.
Yeah, nice little finish there across the goalkeeper.
Yeah. I was telling you then in the break, but I had to park my car 20 minutes away. I'm running to the stadium because the surrounding areas are just covered in snow, just gridlocked, trying to get to the ground. And I managed to get there. Obviously, you can see by the crowd, hardly anyone can get to the stadium and watch it. But I think it was live on TV as well, so we didn't miss out. They obviously seen the goal as well.
You got a few like that, Lewis, didn't you?
A couple, yeah.
Sort of on the run.
Yeah, on the run.
On the bounce.
I always like to be on the move in the box. It's hard as a striker. I think you can't stand still. You've got to be busy, be on the move.
I was going to say busy something. Busy bee.
Yeah, busy bee. Chasing squirrels and stuff like that.
You had a nice partnership with Chris Wood, didn't you?
Yeah. No, he came in that January window. I think his first game was Huddersfield. We beat them 6-0 at home, and he scored 2 and basically set us both his goals up that game as well. And we had a little partnership going. But I think that was the season we got beaten by Watford, you know, in the playoffs, in the final.
Less said about that,
semi-final, sorry, yeah.
But obviously the season after was good, obviously, and plenty of goals in that. And can you see any similarities this season with that campaign that you had when you did go and break the 100-point mark?
Yeah, just I think the togetherness of the squad, you know, it's massive when you got a team, you know, who's winning and just everyone getting on together, you know, being like more of a family club, you know, that all the players seem together on the pitch, off the pitch as well. These seem like they build, you know, good connections, and no one really sees that side of the football. You know, it's all about being on the pitch, but you know, if you build connections off the pitch, I think it works when you do eventually train together and play on the pitch together.
Yeah, I think you look at the team now, and they do seem to have like genuine spirit, which is, you know, it doesn't always happen, and also considering, you know, as a group they haven't been together that long. And I think it's like the environment that Maresca and his staff have created, and also the club have created, and they needed that boost, like that tonic that you said after the doom and gloom of last season, where everything fell apart a little bit. But winning games is the key factor, though, because like, the lads are still getting to know each other as players, as individuals. But when you're winning games, all of a sudden, you know, team spirit goes through the roof anyway. That's the sort of key component, really, because as good as the bond might be, even at an early stage, you're losing games. Spirit ain't that good. One goes with the other. But there'd be a test for the character today. You know, after on the back of Leeds, and everyone's getting to a stage where they're sort of expecting Leicester to go and stroll every game. They didn't against Leeds, and on their day, Middlesbrough away is a real tough fixture. So they'll be looking for a response from themselves. But it'd be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, I remember, like, you know, listening to a conversation that Conor Cody had for the club, and he was saying, like, at the start of the season, the owners had a big barbecue at Seagrave and invited all the families and the kids together. That's massive, you know, getting everyone together after the disappointment of, you know, getting relegated. You know, getting everyone together, all the new players together, all the families
everyone
together.
Everyone invited to that, staff as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, staff, everything. So you know, I've been involved in one of them, and just brings everyone together, like as a family club. And Conor Cody said he's never been at a club that's ever done that. So
yeah, it was the sticky rice was lovely.
Of course, you remember the food. Well, on Fox's Hub, there's a lot available for you, available all, of course, for free, including obviously that interview with Enzo Maresca, where he was in the box. Of course, there's that Tactics Sports feature again, which is available for you. David Nugent and myself looking at 3 Leicester City goals scored earlier in the season. A Future Foxes documentary inside Leicester City's academy. Classic comms with Kelechi and Acho Makara. That is very much worth a watch. And Kieran Dewsbury Hall, you can see his journey. We took him to his old club, Shepshed Dynamo, to speak about playing there as an 8-year-old, and then playing in the Leicester Academy and breaking into the first team, obviously becoming an integral member of this, hopefully, promotion-winning campaign. Of course, as ever on Fox's Hub, I don't know why you're looking at me and smiling. Whatever it is, keep it in, Matt.
Just watching you, mate.
You could hear from Enzo Maresca, of course. All his press conferences are available on Fox's Hub as well. This week he's been speaking, of course, about this trip to Middlesbrough, and he was asked what he's made of their start to the season.
To be honest, very, very, very good team. In the last 10 games of Championship, I think they won 6, draw 2, they just lost 2. So they are in very good moment, very good mood. They are an interesting team with very good players, very good manager. Last year did fantastic job. This year also they struggle a little bit, but also they lost important players. So yeah, important game.
What are the important parts of your game that you have to get right if you're to go there and take 3 points?
But work hard on the ball, off the ball. On the ball especially, continue in the way we want to work, trying to find the solution we prepare for this game. And off the ball, they do different things, very important, very interesting. So we need to deal with that in the right way.
Because of the game, your last game was on a Friday night. That gives you an extra day, I guess, in your preparation. Is having an extra day important for you, or is it something you can really take advantage of?
No, it's always important day. But to be honest, we gave them 2 days off, Saturday and Sunday. Then we work Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday was off, and we prepared the game yesterday and today. In this moment, the recovery time is important as the training.
this is the last game before another international break, the last one of the year. Is it important, and I wonder how important it is for you to not go into this one on the back of back-to-back defeats?
Yeah, for sure. For sure, it's not good, as you said, back-to-back defeat. But even if we're not an international break, it's always bad to lose two games in a row, and we're gonna try to avoid that.
That's Enzo Maresca there speaking ahead of this game with Middlesbrough today. He incidentally has made 3 changes to the side that did lose to Leeds just over a week ago. As ever, today's game is available for you right here on Matchday Live on Fox's Hub, wherever you might be. To watch the game outside of the UK and in certain territories, the game is available as ever for you. To find out more details and to find out if where you are, it is available. All you need to do is head to lcfc.com/Fox's Hub here in the UK and anywhere. Incidentally, you can listen to full commentary, of course. We'll catch up with Jerry Taggart in just a moment. He's on co-commentary duty for us. There is a Listen Live monthly pass that is available for you. Obviously, we are pretty much still at the start of the month, really, aren't we? So well worth going on there. So all you need to do for any details, just head onto Fox's Hub. And Enzo Maresca said in his press conference, we heard a little snippet of it there, Matt, about the Leeds game, and said he wasn't angry at his team or anything like that because of the defeat, and he trusts the process. And I mean, it's 13 wins out of 15. The process is correct, clearly.
Yeah, listen, things are not always going to go smoothly, regardless of the opposition, are they? But Leeds put in a real concerted effort, didn't they? They set their stall out early on, as a lot of people expected. You know, they would go and close Leicester down. There is a case for maybe thinking, right, let's change our game for 5 or 10 minutes, because we've fallen into, fallen into the trap that Leeds was setting, really. But I hesitate to say stubborn, but you know, he wanted to persist, Maresca, with how they normally play, and it was a little bit of a test for the players, I suppose, to a degree. But you know, they didn't play. They didn't. You look at it. You can only be angry if the players aren't giving the right effort and commitment. And you didn't see that from Leicester. You know, they were giving it their all. They just came up a bit short on the night. Good performance from the opposition. Leicester didn't quite fire on all the cylinders, and things weren't coming off for them too much. But you know, they kept trying to persist in their own way, and it was a little bit of a mystery as to how they started the second half, because I thought they finished the first half the stronger of the two, and then I was waiting for them to go really impose themselves out, and it was Leeds who came out the livelier. But so, you know, little things like that you look at, but you might be frustrated, slightly disappointed, but you're not going to be angry or upset at your players, because you know, they put in a good shift. It was good effort against a good team, but came up a little bit short.
You can't be angry. You lost 2 games in 15 games. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a blip, you know, a blip. You know, had all them chances, just couldn't hit the target. Still lose 1-0. Leeds had 2 really great chances. You know, crossbar and a great save by MATCHDAY. On the day they go in, and it's just unfortunate. It's just one of them championships like that. You know, you get games where you have loads of chances, can't score, and then obviously you'll get 4 chances and score 4 goals one game. So
there's a lot of green there, isn't there? When
exactly. You can't be disappointed. You know, to lose 2 games out of 15 games is unbelievable record. And
exactly. I think as well. I mean, Maresca sees things that certainly I don't see at times, and he's looking for different stuff. So, you know, I look at it sometimes and think, well, I wasn't that impressed with that, but he is, sort of thing, because he's seeing signs of what he wants. But I thought if he was going to get slightly aerated at all, I was thinking at the QPR game at half time. I thought, because they started okay, got the lead, somewhat fortunately, but then dropped off into a bit casual. But speaking to Harry Winks the other week, and he said no, he didn't. It was just as normal, carry on. But I thought he'd given them a bit of a flea in the ear. They got them out early at half time as well, didn't they? But more so than the Leeds game, because they weren't producing what they're capable of. But like Dave says, he's not going to moan about too much, is he? But he'll keep the standards high.
Yeah. Well, go on.
I was going to say, in the Leeds game, when you were trying to play out from the back, you know, Leeds was set up.
Yeah.
But I've seen, like, when Hermanson does get the ball, he usually does that ball into the striker, doesn't he? He hardly ever did that once, you know, as an out ball where the midfielders just come short and going long, and try and get the second ball off.
Testing themselves out, weren't they?
You know, they were playing out from the back really risky, and you know, they got quite out a couple of times, but
We'll see what happens today. Matt, they're referencing, speaking to Harry Winks, that is in the latest podcast, Leicester's the Place. Matt Elliott and Jerry Taggart in conversation with the Leicester City midfielder. You can listen to that wherever you get your podcasts. I'll watch it as well on Fox's Hub and on YouTube. Well worth listening to that. Jerry Taggart is indeed in position for us, speak of the devil, at the Riverside Stadium. Jerry, what's it like up there up north?
Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's very nice. The sun is out.
It's not sunny up there, is it?
Yeah, it is. It's sunny. Pitch looks in really good condition. Yeah, so nice little atmosphere building here. And Wolves have just gone 2-1 up.
Yeah, we're watching it.
Against Tottenham.
You carry on talking, Tag, we're watching the game.
What are you expecting today, Jerry, in the Leicester game?
Okay, yeah, I'm expecting a response, like pretty much everybody. After the result, from last week, I'm sure everyone will have been disappointed in the dressing room afterwards, and they'll be looking to put it right against, a good Middlesbrough team.
Well, hopefully so. Middlesbrough, a side that obviously, they didn't win one of their first 7 games and then went on a really good run. They've had a couple of results that haven't gone their way recently, losing to Stoke and then drawing at Plymouth. They'll really have the bit between their teeth today. Yeah,
I think, you look at Middlesbrough, they've conceded something like 25 goals or around that figure this season, so that's quite a lot. It's almost 2 a game, so that'll be disappointing. They conceded 3 last weekend against Plymouth. So Leicester have got to believe that they'll get opportunities today, and if and when they come their way, it's the old adage, can you maximise those opportunities? So that'll be somewhere in the thoughts in Enzo Maresca's team talk with the players today.
Tags, Matt here.
Hiya, Matt.
I just threw Batesy under the bus there. Sorry, I meant to ask you a question. I got distracted by the Wolves game, mate. So you had to think of something off the cuff, but. I expect a decent atmosphere up there. I mean, Middlesbrough having a little bit of a rough time, but should be a good crowd there today. And big following of Leicester fans. Have they made their mark already?
Yeah, I'm just trying to look around to see where they are, the Leicester fans. Yeah, just over in the far corners. I would say that the stadium at the minute's, probably just less than a third full. We're just seeing the Remembrance Day parade coming out now with a load of servicemen, the band's playing, so that'll get the atmosphere going. Yeah, and I'm sure there'll be a full house here today, for the visit of Leicester City.
Yeah, because I heard a few people grumbling about the fact that Leicester only allocated 2,700, which is positive mentality from the supporters as well, isn't it? Going up there in the droves.
No, absolutely.
Willing to take more. It's good to see, especially after last year.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, absolutely. As I say, I think it'll be full house. As we know, Leicester fans will come in the droves, and I think they're expecting around about the 30,000 mark here today, so I would say that's going to be pretty much sold out.
Yeah, proper game on our hands.
Proper game, yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Jerry. We'll let you go and warm up quickly. Oh, you said it's quite sunny, so maybe you don't need to warm up too much ahead of kick-off, which is just under half an hour away, of course, against Michael Carrick's Middlesbrough. Let's take a closer look at them now. Craig Johns from Teesside Live has assessed their start to the season, where, as I've referenced, they didn't win in their first 7 games.
It was a tough one for them because last season I think they were so heavily tipped because of the run that they went on under Michael Carrick last season. But one of the factors of that was that they were so heavily dependent on loan players. They had 6 loanees last season, and 5 of them were important first team players, and they obviously all left in the summer with little chance of being able to re-sign them. And then Chuba Akpom, who was obviously crucial to them last season with 29 goals, he left as well, and he was the only one they actually recouped any money for, because obviously the others are loan players. They're just going back to parent clubs. So that was a lot of important first team players to have to replace on minimal money that had been brought in that summer. So in central midfield, Middlesbrough have young Hayden Hackney, who, he's the kind of midfielder who he'll always show up for the ball. He always looks to get himself into a position where he can receive the ball, and then he'll always look to go forward with it. It's a big thing that Michael Carrick, obviously a fantastic central midfielder in his own day, has worked on with young Hackney for a long time now, in terms of his body shape and the way in which he receives the ball, that allows him to kind of turn into a positive position. And it's something Hayden does really well. He always wants to kind of drive forward with the ball, or pick a pass that ultimately gets Borough moving forward rather than backwards or sideways. He's a really, really influential player on his day. If he can, get on the ball a lot and kind of set the tempo, set the pace of the game, then Middlesbrough are always in a good position through him.
Thanks to Craig Johns there from Teesside Live, assessing Middlesbrough and in particular the midfield that they've got Howson, but it's Hayden Hackney that he really said is the standout player, and he's the one that they'll make them tick in that midfield. Only 21 years old.
Yeah, and he's a local lad as well. So as you know, fans love a local talent coming through the youth ranks and making the mark on the first team. And the difficult start, I think I heard them say, the loss of Akpom, 29 league goals last season. Cameron Archer got double figures as well. Who's obviously just signed for Sheffield United from Villa. You Jacob Ramsey on loan from Villa as well, and Giles from Wolves, the left back who they've lost. So they've lost a lot of players. 3 of them on loan with quality that have left, and obviously Akpom left for 10.5 million to go to Ajax. So they didn't bring much money in the summer, and they've not really replaced goals in the team, and I think that's why they've had a pretty poor start. But they've brought a couple of players in now, and they're starting to pick up. They had a few good wins on the bounce to get them up the league, and they've kind of stuttered a little bit again now, but they're still a good side. People are expecting to be there just because of what they did last season. Getting to the playoff semi-finals, getting beat, but the character, he's done a great job there with what he's got to work with, and I think it'll be a tough game today for Leicester.
Yeah, Sam Greenwood will be a danger, won't he?
Yeah. Again, he's on the loan from Leeds, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's a good technician. He'll come off the left, coming inside on his right foot, trying to get shots off, and and Leicester have to be aware of that. If the inverted fullback does come in that side, he's going to be aware of Sam Greenwood hanging out and trying to find the space there.
Yeah, he said, obviously not in the little bit that we saw there, but he was speaking about Sam Greenwood. He said he can drift in and out of games. You think you won't see much of him for about 20-25 minutes, and suddenly he'll pop up and he'll do something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he certainly has its capabilities, but as do Middlesbrough, throughout really. They've got a blend of youth and experience there, haven't they? An emphasis more so on the youth, and that often brings a bit of unpredictability, really. And but that natural talent is there, and that's part of Greenwood's ambition, isn't it? Or aim is to provide that consistency of high standards. But they're a danger. They're not to be taken lightly at all, are they? I think the fall off, the drop off from last season stands to reason, doesn't it? For the points that Nugent just made. Is to be expected, really. They seem like they've gathered themselves. Carrick, he's been really impressive, to be fair, how he's pulled things together. And it's going to be a tough occasion. Jerry mentioned big crowd up there. Middlesbrough, it's a bit of a trek, and it's...
Tell me about it.
All due respect, yeah, well, you know better than most, but all due respect, you go up there, it's not the prettiest sort of local environment, and you feel like you're going somewhere where you've really got to dig deep to get a result.
Which Leicester will definitely have to do that today, if they're to go.
100%. Playing away from home is, the pressure is probably not as much playing at home, but they're at home. They've got to play the style of football. They'll be in Leicester's faces, and they'll want to win the game as any other team does. Leicester are the big hitters of the league. Everybody wants to put a dent in their aspirations, and Middlesbrough will try that today. Whether it's Carrick likes to play the right way. He likes to play football the right way. So it could be a good footballing game today, I think.
To a degree, it's not a surprise how exemplary Leicester's away record is, because listen, everyone likes playing at home with the crowd behind you, etc. But their actual tactical style of play is more suited to playing away from home. Yeah. More open spaces, game more stretched.
I think that the home sides have to come and. The fans don't want to see their home team sit back and let Leicester off the ball.
You've seen it in numerous games late on, like Leicester have torn teams apart in the final 20 minutes or 10 minutes even. But yes, just more suited away from home. But we'll see what happens this afternoon.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, actually. I think that, and worth picking up that Leicester do they suit playing away more? You think at the moment? I mean, we've seen they've won every game away.
I think so. Just don't get me wrong, they are brilliant at home as well, but it's harder to break teams down at home because they just sit behind the ball and put 10 men behind the ball, and away from home, the home fans expect their team to come and have a go. And when that happens, that creates spaces for Leicester to play this style of football that they play, getting in between the lines and getting half turn and getting the wingers on the ball and creating chances. So, yeah, away from home, I believe it's easier for Leicester to play their style of play.
Yeah, be interesting to see in the midfield that man on screen there, obviously Johnny House, and he has the experience. He's next to Hackney, who's on the other side of the coin in terms of experience, but they've clearly formed a good bond in that midfield.
Yeah, definitely. You got one really experienced player who's been around the Championship and Premier League most of his career. With Norwich and Leeds, now Borough. Hackney's coming through the youth ranks, who's probably learning a lot from Johnny House and while they're playing together. But I think it'll be a great matchup, with Dewsbury Hall and Herrera and Winks as a free up against them too. So I still think Leicester will still dominate possession-wise, but I think it'll still be a good battle.
Yeah, and that man on screen as well. But we're assuming he will do the inverted role, Matt, into midfield, Hamza.
Yeah, it seems that way, and he's been very capable, and he's been asked to step up to that position as well. And he's got a little bit more about him than people given him credit for, I think, before. It seems to have matured a little bit, going away to Watford, and maybe it was not a kick up the backside, that's too strong, but sort of the realisation that his career is not going to just take its natural course, he's got to apply himself properly. And when he does that, he's a very valuable addition. And you see him at right back, people have a little bit sceptical at seeing him fall back, but I'd say it repeatedly that very rarely did you see someone beat him in a 1v1 situation. He's going to have his hands full today, but Ham's as mobile and as aggressive as any defender in a 1v1 situation. And his distribution as well. He's developed confidence from Maresca having a bit of faith in him. Hamza's not going to ping one on the outside of his foot half volley inside the fullback, whatever. But he can be neat and tidy and set the ball rolling. And he's come to the fore, and well done to him.
He's really good on the ball as well. And being a midfielder, predominantly he's in that right back position. Enzo trusts him to come inside and come in that inverted wing where he's naturally plays his football anyway as a holding midfielder. So he's got the capability of getting on the ball and giving it to somebody else to do their job, and that's why he goes in the inverted fullback, because he has the ability to come inside and play football.
Yeah, we just saw Matt, Kelechi Iheanacho obviously on the screen just a moment ago. Another big afternoon for him. Matt's already referenced the fact that it's usually Vardy or Iheanacho's, and the changes is regularly made. Yeah,
it's one or the other, and if he does make changes, it's Vardy for Iheanacho or vice versa. And then obviously you got the likes of Tom Cannon now on the bench, to come on as well. So another option there for him. First time he's been on the bench, and hopefully he can get a few minutes today. But yeah, Kelechi, he's a lot more stronger than Vards in that sense. He can hold the ball up a bit better. So we might have to see that today if Middlesbrough push on that ball from Hermans and into Kelechi. We've seen it a lot of times against the Norwich game away. We've seen it a lot with Norwich man for man. So if they do come under pressure, they've got the outball to Kelechi to hold up and lay it off to other players.
Yep. Speaking of Mads Hermansen, let's hear from the man himself. He's been catching up with our commentator today, Niall McCorn.
Mads, how determined are the squad today to put last week against Leeds behind them and move on with a win?
Yeah, like always, we always try to do our best to win the games. We always try to find the best solutions to have the best chances to win. Of course, when you come out after a defeat, we want to show everyone that we're determined to win again.
Obviously, it's been an amazing start to the season, and particularly away from home, Leicester have been exceptional. So you must be keen to keep that record up today.
We don't really talk that much about records and table position and points and stuff like that. We really just focus on what we can do to get the best chances to win the games. So that's really our focus.
This group seems really together, and there's a real tight-knit feeling amongst the squad. And I guess one defeat, even though it was against Leeds, isn't going to change that.
No, we fully believe in what we're doing. We fully believe in the way we do things and the way we play. So we know what to do today, as well as we did last week. Unfortunately, the result wasn't for us. So we'll try to do our best to win today.
Danish goalkeeper Mads Hermansen there speaking to our commentator Niall McCorn ahead of kick-off, and we've briefly touched upon him, and he's been brilliant, hasn't he? It almost goes without saying how good how well he's settled in rather to the team.
Yeah, to be fair, he goes under the radar a little bit, doesn't, because everything's about Leicester, how well they're doing, and scoring more than their fair share of goals, picking up the points. It's more about Leicester's general play in an attacking sense, really. But he's the
defendant's boring, Matty. Anyway, don't worry.
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. No, but he's the initiator of a lot of.
He starts everything off.
Start of everything, isn't he? Yeah, and I mean, I think he's a real bargain. Is not the word really, but they've done well to pick him and get him at that amount of money, because I think he could end up like a really top keeper.
Yeah,
he's got a bit of everything, hasn't he? One thing you maybe say like a little bit of stature, but he can develop that side of the game, become a bit more natural for him. But everything else, shot stopping, decision making,
distribution,
athleticism, and of course his distribution. Yeah, he does look the real deal, to be fair.
Yeah. Final point on Mads Hermansen and the game itself before we hand over to our commentary team. Away from home, you need your goalkeeper to be on form, don't you, anyway? Hopefully he will be, and hopefully Leicester will be this afternoon.
Yeah, well, that's the plan. Obviously coming off of the defeat, you want a reaction. The lads want to get back to winning ways, and you'll see Mads Hermansen today on. He's so comfortable on the ball. He waits for players to close him down. He gives it the ball away. He never gives the ball away. Always giving it to the defenders last minute. Trying to make Middlesbrough come out of their shape to try and punch your pass in behind. Always trying to start the attacks off, and he's going to be vital. He's going to have to stand tall today. They've got a few big players, Middlesbrough. For set pieces, and he will be tested today.
Yeah, big game for the Foxes, of course, this afternoon up at Middlesbrough. Leicester will be looking to make it, though. 14 wins out of 16 at the start of this season. Really has been a fantastic start to the campaign. As ever, you can follow all the action with us on Matchday Live here on Foxes Hub. Here's a little video reminder of what is available for you this afternoon, and following that, we have, of course, got the full game for you.
If you are watching on lcfc.com, just sit back and relax. If you are watching on social media, the live stream will finish shortly. If you want to continue enjoying our coverage, you'll need to head over to lcfc.com/Foxes Hub and purchase one of our game passes. If you are watching in a territory where the game isn't live on TV, you'll be able to watch a live video stream on Foxes Hub. Please visit lcfc.com/territories to check. If you can't find your location, live audio commentary is still available. You'll need to have an lcfc.com account before you purchase your Game Pass. If you already have one, please sign in and select your product at lcfc.com/Foxes Hub. Select the Buy button and you'll be taken to the payment page. Once you've followed the simple payment steps, press Continue at the bottom of the screen and you'll be taken to the Foxes Hub homepage. If you purchased a video pass, please select Watch Live from the Foxes Hub drop-down menu. If you purchased a Listen Live pass, please select Listen Live. If you purchased a seasonal or monthly video pass and the game is not being shown in your territory, please select Listen Live. If you are having a payment or technical issue, please email Leicester TV Support at streamamg.com. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the match.